Good morning, Chantilly. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026.
And in today's show, it's Pride Month history.
And the weekly weather report.
And you're watching the nightly news.
I'm Jenny Mosleski.
And I'm Jamie Nowicki.
And here are your morning announcements. Today, girls varsity lacrosse has the Northern Region Finals.
There will be a 2-hour early release tomorrow for graduation, which is taking place at the Eagle Bank Arena at George Mason from 7 to 9 p.m.
Chantilly Sports Physical Night is on Wednesday, June 10th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. The Athletic Training Department will be offering sports physicals. Register now by going to www.chantillyathletics.com. It's $50 per physical with online registration, $60 for walk-in appointments. Email chantillyhsatp@fcps.edu with any questions.
One of my friends is going to a Pride March this month.
Wow, that's so cool. I've never been to one, but I want to learn more about the history of Pride Month.
Well, I know just the people. Over to you, Shompton and James.
Although the first Pride Month was marked by the March on New York City in June of 1970, it has a rich history long before then.
In the 50s, we start to see small organizations of homophiles, and we start to see these groups begin across the country. But really, it's in the 1960s that we start to see the movement take hold and become, I would call it a force to be reckoned with.
The fight for modern civil rights for the gay community is going to really start with the Stonewall riots in June of 1969. The Stonewall Riots, is going to be a gay club that was in New York City. The police tried to raid the club, and the patrons kind of pushed back a lot on this, right? And this happened in June. That's why June is considered Pride Month.
Well, at the Stonewall event was Marsha P. Johnson. A lot of trans women of color were pioneers in that role in activism. And then we had Harvey Milk in San Francisco, was one of the first openly gay elected officials.
And then it's going to be in the 1970s where we see the first Pride parades taking place. We see the American Psychological Association remove homosexuality from their diagnoses book, right? It's no longer seen as a mental disorder. And we see our the Pride flag brought in the 1970s as well.
The devastating AIDS epidemic of the 1980s helped bring people together and highlight health care and activism in that way.
And then in 2015, we see Obergefell versus Hodges, where the Supreme Court says that nationally it legalizes same-sex marriage across the country.
So I think activism is still important today, especially for visibility, self-expression, access to healthcare, and things like that. So I still think it's super important that we're active and visible, even now. Be nice to people. Treat them the way that you would want to be treated.
Pride Month is a great way to celebrate community, but it's important to remember that there is still much work that needs to be done to create an equitable society. Well, this has been Samson Gupta and James Morath for the Nightly News. Now back to you.
This has really inspired me to help my friend with their march.
Make sure you tell me how it goes.
I'm wondering how this week's weather will go.
Thanks, anchors. I'm sure tonight here with all your highs and lows for our upcoming week. This week, it's going to start cooler and then going to get hot as the week goes on. On Tuesday, it's going to be a high of 68 and a low of 56. Then, on Wednesday, it's going to be a high of 78 and a low of 55. On Thursday, it's going to be a high of 84 and a low of 62. And on Friday, it's going to be a high of 87 and a low of 67. That's all for weather. Now back to you, anchors.
Looks like it's heating up. Well, this has been Jenny Mosleski.
And Jamie Nowicki reminding you to stay positive, stay safe, and have a great day.
And we'll see you on Thursday.